welcome back to my channel. My name is Sabrina. So excited to have you here. Today we're doing a reading vlog. Well, today slash this weekend we're going to do a reading vlog, and I haven't done a reading vlog in a hot moment. So I'm hoping I'll actually say, I'm so sorry if you can hear the stupid dog next door that does not shut up. It's fine. So I'm going to do a reading vlog, and it's going to be fine, and we're going to have a great time. And I haven't been reading it nearly as much as I need to. It's March, and I've read a whopping 5 books. My goal this year is 75, so we need to get going. I'm in my senior year of college. I graduate in April. I am kind of in that, like, need to do certain things, but also need to read. So we're going to try to read. So first book I am going to try to finish is Catherine House by Elizabeth Thomas. I started listening to this on audiobook, but this is one of those books that's just like not great to read on audiobook. It's a lot of like self-dialogue. It's kind of confusing. So I think I'll do better with this physically. So I got actually about halfway through The Tower, like this chapter 72. So I'm probably on page like 100, but I'm going to be confused if I start halfway through. So we're going to read this. And then my other books that I'm reading, which I don't have physical copies of, one is The Never King. I'll post a picture of it here. I am listening to that in an audiobook. It's a 4-hour audiobook. We're about halfway through. It was labeled 5 chili peppers on the Spotify. So it definitely has been about 3 chili peppers. We're hoping to get to the 5 chili peppers. We are reading, I'm trying to remember, Secrets of Mass by Emerald Slytherin, which is a Draco Malfoy fanfiction, and I 100% count fanfictions that are over a certain amount of words to be books that I've read. I have spent a lot of time on this book, okay? Each chapter is almost an hour to, like, listen to, and I am on chapter 62 of 72 of that book, which is very good. That one is just kind of like Voldemort he was killed, so like it did follow like the same timeline, but he came back to life, and so Draco captures Hermione, and Hermione is forced to live with him in like this blood curse and all that. So I'm reading that, which is so funny because this is about to go up, probably after, because I think I'm gonna watch it tonight, my Deathly Hallows reading and reaction. So yes, I started reading a fan fiction before. Judge me. I already knew most of what happened because it came out 10 years ago, but whatever. I'm also reading, what else am I reading? There's another one on there. I just can't remember what it is right now. Bridgerton. So I started reading Bridgerton, which is The Duke and I, so the first book. Started reading it, got about 6 pages in. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to continue. I'm reading it on my Kindle Fire from 8th grade, which I will not be returning or getting a new one until it dies. My dad fixed the screen for me in like 9th grade. Listen, it's gonna die with me at this point. I started reading that one. I am on edge about it. I don't know if I'm feeling some type of way about it because it's been such a popular thing. I've been kind of really into like England, whatever lately. I don't know if that is because like I've been on the Tudor TikTok with Anne Boleyn. I don't know what's going on with me. I don't know what my TikTok is about right now, but I'll also post my TikTok right here if you want to follow me, because I post a lot of book related stuff on there. But I don't know. I want to read it, but at the same time, I don't know if I want to read it. So we're 50-50 about it. Also, look at this bookmark I made with my Cricut when I first got it. Scary Books and Chill. How cute is that? I love this bookmark. But I have it in my Catherine House book. But yes, I am going to try to read a little bit more of this. I don't know how I'm feeling about it, and I think that's my problem. It's been kind of hard for me to find books that I enjoy reading. So I'm hoping I can finish this. I'm going to do my Deathly Hallows vlog tonight and hopefully watch at least part 1. Hopefully part 2. Me and my husband are weird like that. And it's like, I think it'll probably be like 5 hours to watch both of them. So we might watch both. But I have to go interview my mother for an assignment for my class. I need to go to the Walmart to get some cat food. And yeah, I will talk to you guys when I've done some reading. This was a really long intro. I'm so sorry. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Hello. Not only am I in pajamas, I have kitties on them. I'm also sitting in my living room, which I don't typically do when we update reading vlogs, and in my glasses. You see how blind I am? I didn't ask for this. Angela gave it to me. I wanted to do a reading update. Haven't read very much. I am on chapter 68 of Secrets Unmasked, which is a little over, I think, 80% of the way through. I only have, I think, 3 or 4 more chapters left, and it's getting very good. I am on the part where they just got back from speaking with Kingsley. So if you've read, you know what's happening. And if I'm going to get my heart broken, I'm going to be upset. It is currently Saturday, going into Sunday morning. It's like 2 o'clock. As you guys remember from previous reading vlogs, I work until midnight and I don't get home till about 1:30. So I came home, I took a shower, my laptop is right there. We are uploading the Harry Potter reading vlog, which I'm really excited about because I didn't upload the Half-Blood Prince and I really wish I would have. So it would have been like a whole series, but I did go into a little bit of why I didn't film it in the video, kind of just a mixture of health, like mental health, and being really busy. I know I've been really struggling to read because of my school schedule. I'm at that part in my schooling where I'm completing an internship. I'm doing internship based stuff. I have to make like a 100-page booklet for these clients with like different resources and like how to get, I am at a domestic violence facility, so how to get back on your feet after you're leaving this relationship and how to do these things that your perpetrator might have, you know, been in charge of. So I'm working on that, which is taking up a lot of my time. Today at work, all of my downtime was spent on that booklet, and I think I only got 3 or 4 pages done. So it's taking a lot of research. Like, who knows how to balance a checkbook? Like, I am 26 and I've never even thought about balancing a checkbook. So who is she? I don't know. But let's update actual reading and stop chatting because I'm exhausted. This is only like 70% of the way exporting to my laptop, and Final Cut has not been exporting the way I want. So hopefully it gives me no problems because I don't think I'll be able to handle it. Secrets Unmasked, I updated that. Bridgerton, I started it. I don't think I'm gonna read it. I think I'm gonna set it aside for now, find something else. I really wanted to start it just because I'm really into like the King Henry VIII TikTok right now. So maybe I'll read something that's not a whole 45 book series about that kind of stuff. What else am I reading? The Never King. I haven't read any more of that. I'm low-key trying to finish Secrets Unmasked first since I have so little left of that. The Never King, I have about 2 hours left of the audiobook. It's only a 4-hour audiobook, so whatever. What do you want from me? Catherine House. I did read a little bit more of it last night. I am on page 138. The chapters in this book are just incredibly long and they're not marked on like what chapter you're on. Something really tragic just happened to our main character, which for some reason I can never remember our main character's name. I think her name is Elsa or something like that. Blah, blah, blah. It like doesn't even say on the back, so if I come across the name of the main character again, I'll holler at you and let you know, but I do not remember, which is probably bad. But yes, I am on page 138 of that. Just got to year 2 and there are 3 years there, so I want to say I'm almost halfway done with it. I'm hoping I can finish this by Monday evening so I can start a new book. I'm struggling to fall back in love with reading. And I think this is because my first year on BookTube, I was like, I need to read all of the books or I will not be a real booktuber, which is so incorrect. I think people that are on BookTube that are super been on YouTube for a long time reading a 400 book a day is just not realistic for most people. Certainly not realistic for me. If I get 100 pages in a day, I'm like, I wasted my whole day doing nothing because all I did was sit on my couch and read. So my goal is to get this book done, which will give me probably about 70 pages a day. Fingers crossed. I am going to go lay in bed and read this for a little bit after I upload this video and it goes up, so you'll probably see it soon, which I'm so excited for because I have not uploaded a video since the summer. So I'm hoping I graduate in May or April. Oh my god, I graduate in April and it's March 4th. Oh my god, what is happening? So I graduate soon, and then when I graduate I will have more time to read. So yippee-ki-yay. Sabrina is excited. Okay, so I'm gonna do what I expected. I'm gonna go read, upload this video, take these eyeballs off, and go to sleep. And I will update when I see you guys next. Goodbye. Hello. Happy, what day is it? Monday. Happy Monday. I didn't go to internship today. 1, because I slept all day. 2, I'm about to head to class. I literally was supposed to leave 5 minutes ago, but I was like, what better way to be late than to update the reading vlog? I finished Catherine House, and I am disappointed. I felt like there was no plot. It kind of just like, it started with Inez going to Catherine House. So we're at Catherine House, living our best life, not really. And Catherine House is this college sort of deal where you can't leave. So it's a 3-year program and you're not allowed to leave. You're not allowed to have communication with the outside world. You're not allowed to bring anything from your past life, which is like the outside world. And you're stuck there. And then we learn about a quarter of the way through the book that they're kind of experimenting on these kids by putting pins in them and kind of like, I don't know if they're monitoring their brain or whatever they're doing. It's actually really confusing. But like there was no build up to like, oh my gosh, like they're doing XX to these kids. In the last like 100 pages, we learned some weird shit they're doing in the lab, but it's not anything that's like, oh my gosh, this is the climax of the book. There was just no plot, no climax. It was very like throughout. I was very upset with it because I heard so many things about this book on BookTube, and it makes me sad that I didn't enjoy it. So that's how this book landed for me. Really disappointed in it. I gave it 2 stars and I wish I would have loved it. I loved the kind of like dreamy feel of like this dilapidated college that doesn't get any funding because of whatever reason and blah blah blah, but it just, it was shitty and I didn't like it. I'm gonna open this window. It's 70 degrees outside and I have to go to school and I'm very upset about it. But I finished a book, y'all. I've been reading this book since January. If that says how boring this book is, I don't know what does. And then I just picked this up last night. I'm going to read How She Lived, How I Died by Mary Crockett. This book is actively falling apart. I actually bought this new and it's already falling apart, so that's my life. What is on the side of this? That looked like wax from a candle. So it says, on a warm, listless summer afternoon, Kyle sent 5 texts to a few chosen classmates. None of the girls responded except for one. Jamie is the only nice girl enough to give Kyle a time, and that night, deliberately and brutally, he killed her. On the eve of Kyle's sentencing a year later, all of the other chosen ones are coping in various ways. I can't talk. But our narrator is full of questions, stuck somewhere between the horrifying past and the unknown future as she tries to piece together why she gets to live while Jamie is dead. Now she finds herself drawn to Charlie, Jamie's boyfriend, knowing all the while that their relationship will always be haunted by the what ifs and why nots. How do you go on living when you know that it could have been you instead? So I'm going to start reading this. The pages are like, the font's really big, I feel like. And it's like double spaced. I cannot tell you the last time I read a book that was double spaced. So, yes. This is my newest read. I'm going to try to get started on it tonight. I am for my other books, I haven't read any more of The Never King, but I talked about in my last update that I wanted to finish Secrets and Masks by Emerald Slytherin first. So I am finishing that. I am on chapter 68 and there's 72 chapters. So I'm hoping on my hour drive to and from school tonight, I'll be able to finish it because I listened to it on 1.5 speed. And then I'm not reading anything else, I don't think. Just this, Secrets and Masks, and The Never King. So hopefully I can finish The Never King and Secrets and Masks this week and maybe start another audiobook. I'm not 100% sure. I unsubscribed from Everand, but I think I'm going to resubscribe to it. Because I was using Spotify, and Spotify only gives you 17 hours of reading time, which is just not enough for me because most audiobooks you think are like 15 hours. So that's really sad. But yes, this is what I'm doing. This book and those other two. I'm going to go to school before I'm late. I still have to put on my shoes. And I'll talk to you guys later. Goodbye. Hi. We are not only going to do a reading vlog update, but I got clothes. And I want to show you guys my clothes I got. We're going to be walking around. If you see my filthy living room, keep your opinions to yourself. Thanks. So I got these 2 big bags. And then I also got this bag from the Amazons. And I also got 2 books I want to talk about. So, Dorothy, first in the Amazons bag. And I actually hate Amazon bags because half the time they don't rip the way you want them to. My husband's tie he was supposed to wear to a wedding. So I got, every time I walk away, y'all cannot see me. Don't judge my table. Be nice. So I got this dress. Was I supposed to wear it to a wedding? Sure was. It's like blue, but I think I could wear it. Cute. Do we like it? You can't see that. But do we like it? Blue? Yes, girl. But I got this for a wedding. But I think it'll be good. I'm throwing it on the floor of my laundry room to wash it. But I think it'll be good for my internship. So I think we'll get a double use out of it. This one, this is a Shein bag. And you know how Shein bags like never open? Okay, I got it open. So if you want to come at me about ordering on Shein, that's fine. But I'm still gonna do it. Because as a plus size bitch, it's hard to find clothes that really fit. And Shein gets me going. So I got these dress pants. They're just black. Nothing fancy. And then I'm gonna throw these all outside. And then I also got this sweater I was so excited for because I was gonna buy it when it was like $16 and I could not convince myself to buy a $16 sweater. Just couldn't do it. Look how cute this is. Yes, girl. Look, the fringe. So cute. This is like a little Western vibe, right? Look at this. It's a Western vibe. We like it. Okay. Then I also got in this bag, this was just this red shirt to go with my black pants because I don't really have that many pairs of dress clothes. And I told my husband, I was like, I think I'm gonna buy like a couple outfits every time I get paid because on Shein it'll only cost me like $30. So I got this just red shirt, polka dotted, simple, whatever. And then Dorcas, the other bag, this one is a little bigger. I think it has a pair of jeans in there. But I'm going, me and my friends are going to this like big arcade for her birthday. So I wanted to get a new pair of pants. And I think these are it. So they are jeans. But they're kind of ripped. Let me see if they're gonna like, they're always too short. But honestly, being a plus size girly, plus being almost 6 feet tall, I'm so used to things being too short on me, I don't even think about it anymore. remember what I ordered. That's bad when you don't remember what you ordered. And then I also got, something just fell. Oh, this is a dress. So I like dresses, but they have to be long enough. So it has like this little like lipped collar, navy blue on the bottom, goes to under my knees, which I like, and this little belt action. My friend Josh always says to me, why do you wear such low or like lower cut skirts or whatever? And I'm like, bro, I'm fat. You think I'm choosing to do this? And I got this just cropped. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this, but I usually wear high-waisted jeans. So this is cute. You know they say fat people shouldn't wear stripes? This brings me back to my emo days. You guys ever seen me in my emo days? Let me just attach a picture right here. Why did I just get you with the... I threw that shirt right on Wanda because she's just chilling in the laundry room. And then this is another dress. By the grace of God. I don't know why I keep buying dresses. How do we like this green? Slytherin green? I like it. Cute. But those are the clothes that I bought. I don't know why I felt like I needed to show you them, but I thought you would enjoy it. Shopaholic to the Rescue, which I'm pretty sure is the second book to Confessions of a Shopaholic. And then Christmas Shopaholic. I think there's 3 of them. I'd have to look it up. Y'all know I'm really bad at this. And then Modern Lover by Emma Straub. Honestly, I just really liked the cover. I'm a cover buyer. What do you want from me? But yes, but let me do a reading update. I don't even know where my cell phone is. Whatever. So I am on chapter 72 of Secrets of Masks. I'm almost done. I am on the part, spoilers, I am on the point right after Hermione dies. I feel like she didn't really die, but we'll see. And Draco is going after Voldemort. We cried in the car for about 20 minutes. So it was not good. But it's getting so good. I know I'm going to finish it tomorrow because I have an hour car ride to work and an hour car ride back. So I know I'm going to finish it. It's not going to be an option. I'm 100% finishing it. And then hopefully I can finish the Never King. We'll see about that one. I also am going to start How She Lived and How I Died, or How I Lived, How She Died. I can never remember the title of it. I'm going to start that one today, right after I edit my March TBR cart and send these notes from class today to my friends before I forget. Zelda is on a warpath today. She's being really annoying. This was a really long update. Good. I'll check you later. We'll talk later. Bye. Happy Monday. Hi. Oh my god. I look horrible. Y'all. I just finished Secrets and Masks. And I just cried like the biggest baby. I expected it to end the way it did, but I was not prepared for the ending. All I have to say is it made me cry several times in the last like 5 chapters. Be prepared for the tears. But now and for always, I ship Hermione. So we're moving on to actual books now. I forgot to mention in my last update that I did start reading Forged by Malice, which is the 3rd book in the Bonded by Thorn series. I talked about this a couple of reading vlogs ago. So it came out in October and I'm finally reading it. Let me put on my glasses. These lights are hurting me. Better. So I finally started reading the 3rd book. So the book is basically about this girl whose dad was convinced that the Fays have stolen their mother. So she stumbles upon the Fae realm. And she's there. Long story short, spoilers everybody, she's mates with the Prince of Autumn, which his name is Farron, and the Prince of Winter, who is Keldrion. So this book, they are kind of trying to get their people back in their like specific realms kind of thing, because the Prince of Winter last book, he had left his realm in charge of this dude that he trusted, and he totally backfired and was planning on like taking over. And so there was like a big war, and it was a big thing. And then Caspian is there, which is like the king of the underground or whatever. I know I'm using king and powerful, whatever the fuck, whatever. But this book has started out, the castle's crumbling. The 4 princes aren't staying in the castle where they need to be in order to keep the magic in the castle like up to par. They are mostly out in their like their season realm. So like Calderon is in the winter realm, and Dayton is in the summer realm, and Farron is in the spring realm, and Ezran is in the spring, or whatever. I'm struggling today. But right now the castle's crumbling, and we're 4% in, and there was already a super spicy scene. So we're feeling some type of way about it. So yes, I'm very excited. I think I might try to read up chapter 2 before I go to bed. It's like 2 in the morning. I have to be up kind of early to leave my house for internship, but we'll see. But yes, I'm gonna go read. Take my contacts out, because these are blue lights in case you guys didn't know. Take my glasses, put my glasses on, and go lay down and read, because I finished my one book. Now hopefully I can finish The Never King tomorrow on my way to and from work, and we can get a pretty good chunk in of Forged by Malice. But it's a 500-page book, and you all know how long it takes me to reach 500-page books. So I'm gonna start that, and then my next goal is to start and finish How I Lived, How She Died, How She Died, How I Lived. I can never remember the actual name of it. And then we're going to work on another book. I don't think I have another book picked out. So hopefully I can get those 3 finished by the end of the week. It is Tuesday. Well, Monday night going into Tuesday. So fingers crossed, because we're ending this reading vlog on Friday. It's a long one. I would apologize, but I'm not going to. Okay, I'll talk to you guys then. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, what day is it? Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. We need to get this main cut. So, I am about 11% of the way through Beasts of the Briar, Forged by Malice. And I think a quarter of it has been spicy scenes. And I think I already know what's going to happen, which makes me kind of sad, because it was my favorite book last year, the first and second one, and I just don't think I'm going to like this one. And then the reviews, most of them are like, this is so repetitive, like I expected this twist at the end. So I'm kind of sad about it, because what if I don't like it? That's just going to ruin everything for me. So, I don't know. Look at my overalls. They're space themed. Hello. I don't know if this is going to stay up, and I really hope it does. Very odd angle. So I'm just about to film a video, yes, like this. But I went book shopping today at the Goodwill bookstore, which you just seen some footage of. So I want to show you what I got because I got quite a bit of books. I think I only spent like $40 and got quite a few books. I'm very excited. So Colleen Hoover, hit or miss for me. I read one book by her and I didn't like it. The social worker in me says these are not done well. The way she talks about trauma, just not it for me. But I got November 9 and Ugly Love. They had them. I was like, well, for $4 a piece, why not? So I grabbed these two. I also got Jack of Hearts and Other Parts by Elsie Rosen for $4. This one intrigued me. It says, Jack's reputation is only partially deserved. Jack has had a lot of sex and he's not ashamed of it. While he's sometimes ostracized and gossip constantly rages about his sex life, Jack always believes that it could be worse. But then the worst unexpectedly strikes, when Jack starts writing a teen sex advice column or his friend's blog. He begins to receive creepy and threatening love letters in an attempt to force Jack to curb his sexuality and personality. Now it's up to Jack and his best friends to uncover the stalker before their love becomes dangerous. So that sounded fun. One, because someone's having a lot of sex. And then I was flipping through it and there's a lot of like text messages in it. And I don't know why I love that in a book, but I'm hoping I enjoy it. That one, how much was this one? $4. These all came from the Goodwill bookstore. Yes, this other bag did not come from the Goodwill bookstore. This one is Scared Little Rabbits by A.V. Geiger. This one was $3. This one says, we stand in a tight cluster high above the lake. One by one, we made our way up to the narrow trail from the edge of campus. Now we wait shoulder to shoulder beside the police tape. 19 summer students, all but one. I'm pretty sure this one's about a girl that goes to like a summer camp type of thing and people get murdered. So I need to read more thrillers in my life. I have so many thrillers on my TBR and on my shelves that I just have not read. So hopefully we finally read them. Maisie, you want some hay, honey? Next one I got is Before I Go to Sleep by S.J. Watts. This one was $2. This one says, memories define us, so what if you lost yours every time you went to sleep? Your name, your identity, your past, even the people you love, all forgotten overnight. And the one person you trust may be telling you only half the story. So I've read a memory book once before. I think I documented it on here, but I can't remember, and I hated it. I ended up DNFing it like 100 pages in. So hopefully this one is executed a lot better. Next, I got Everything Matters, a novel by Ron Curry Jr. Same author as God is Dead, and I did not read God is Not Dead. God is Dead? God is Dead. JK. I don't know who the wrote this. What? So this one sounded really interesting. This one was $3. This one says, in this novel rich with character, Junior grows up in a rural Maine in the time of Atari, baseball cards, pop Catholicism, and cocaine. He also knows something no one else knows. Neither his exalted parents, nor his baseball solvent brother, nor the love of his life. The world will end when he is 36. While Junior searches for the meaning in a doomed world, his loved ones tell an all-American family saga of feathers and suns, binding romance, lost love, and reconciliation, accumulating in one final triumph that reconfigures the universe. So this one sounded good, so I picked that one up. I also grabbed Love Lucas. This did not come in the Goodwill bookstore. This came from a Goodwill, but not the Goodwill bookstore. Love Lucas by Chantel Sedgwick. This one follows a girl whose older brother passes from cancer, and then her and her mom goes to visit an aunt in California, and then she is getting letters from her brother that he wrote to her before he passed away. And basically it's just kind of like guidance for her from these letters. So I'm very excited for this. I think it's going to explore grief a lot, and I really would like some more books that explore grief. Next, we got The Possibility of Now by Kim Culbertson. I actually almost got this book quite a few occasions, but I did not grab it. This one says, Mara James has always been a perfectionist with a plan, but despite years of successful overachieving at her elite school and constant planning, it all falls apart because Mara didn't plan on having a total meltdown during her calculus exam, like a rip it up the test and get escorted out kind of meltdown. And she definitely didn't plan on ever wanting to show her place in school again. Mara knows what she should do, only she can't bring herself to do it, because suddenly she doesn't know why she's been overreacting all these years. So Mara tells her mom she wants to go live in Tahoe with her estranged dad, a ski bum avoiding real life. Maybe there, Mara can explore things out. Except Tahoe is nothing like she thought it would be. There are awesome new friends and a chance to finally get to know Trick, but there are also massive amounts of schoolwork. Can Mara find a balance between future and now, or will she miss out on both? Either this is a movie, a book-turned movie, because the people on the cover, or they just chose to put people on the cover. So funny, this means they got it from the Dollar Tree, so it's crazy that I know that. I'm going to put these back in this bag because I'm going to take a thumbnail because I'm going to do a Goodwood book haul. This video will probably go up after that video, so I feel less bad about showing you the books. But that video will probably go more in depth of why I bought them and all that stuff. But I still have literally I already showed you guys these 2 books that I got. And then I also got Ashes to Ashes by Jenny Han and Sabobi and Vivian. And then I got the Fire with Fire. And I realized this was a trilogy, but they didn't have the first one. So I ordered that one on Thrift Books, which is Burn by Burn, I think. But these were $6, so I couldn't pass it out considering the trilogy on Amazon is like almost $60. So I got those 2, and then the other one will be here in like a week. Next one, I got Show for Two by Tasashi Bayun. And it says, Mina has a plan for her future. Finally win the Golden Ivy student film competition, get into her dream school, and leave New York City behind once and for all. And first I just seen this and I was like, let me pull it out because it kind of looks like a young adult, and then this cover screams young adult, so I got that one. And this cover is just so cute. They're eating Chinese food on a roof. How adorable. How adorable. And then I got 2 Frida McFadden books. I've been seeing these books all over my TikTok and my, trying to think of it, Kindle Unlimited. So this one is Do You Remember and Want to Know a Secret. And then finally I got The Lies I Told by Mary Burton. All of these were like $2 to $3. So I have trouble spending money on books when they're only a couple dollars, but like I also hate buying books when they're stupid expensive, and I'm sure you guys can totally understand that because books are expensive. I always say book buying and book reading is just 2 completely different hobbies. So yes, I'm going to film this video and then I'm going to go read a little bit because we still have to make dinner. It is 7:40 and I have to be up for school bright and early at what time, you ask? Thanks for asking. I have to be up at 6:30 to go to class, and I can't skip it because I've skipped it one too many times this semester. So I'm going to film and then I will talk to you guys at a later date. I don't know if my phone is going to stay up, but hello. We are updating the reading vlog while we drive. Yes, that's dangerous. Do not follow my advice. So I just got out of my 8 o'clock class. It is 8:06. We talked about really hard topics. It's my women and girls class. And in that class, we talk about a lot of really hard stuff and like a lot of things that I hit home with a lot of women. So I always leave feeling drained. But I wanted to give an update because I finished The Never King and it was not it. Would not recommend. I gave it a 1 out of 5. It was just not good. Like, the whole premise was like Peter Pan is dark and he kidnaps these darlings from this specific bloodline because the great whatever stole his shadow. So he believes that memories are kept in the blood and he'll be able to continue to search their memories to figure out where like they hid his shadow. I have so many problems with this. So many problems with this. I'm gonna turn this light on. So many problems with this that I don't really want to talk about right now because it's gonna piss me off. But the spicy scenes were spicy. Like, it was definitely 5 out of 5 spice with the spiciness scale. But I feel like the book was not executed very well. I feel like it could have been a lot better. Like, the main character definitely had a lot of Stockholm syndrome. Like, her mother went mad from like them going through her memories. So she was like low-key kind of schizophrenic, but they don't really go into her mental illness that much. And then the girl was always worried. So in the beginning, it's like, I am so scared. I'm gonna lose my mind. And then all of a sudden it was like, just kidding. I'm not afraid to lose my mind anymore. These guys are super hot. We're gonna have sex with all of them. And I was like, let me get this straight. This is Stockholm Syndrome, 150%. And I was not a big fan of it, the whole Stockholm Syndrome aspect. So, yeah. I was not a big fan. I think that's a cup. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend. I guess I could have turned. Sorry, I'm waiting to turn. But yeah, I didn't like it. But I am continuing to read Bonded by Thorns. I'm really enjoying Forged by Malice, which is the 3rd book. I thought I was gonna DNF it, but it's getting better. So I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna happen. I'd say I'm sorry, but I'm not because I expected it. In this specific one, they are in the Spring Realm, which is Ezrian's realm. And we are big fans of Ezrian. But it's so weird because Dayton is not acting like Dayton. Like, I don't know what the authors are doing, because in the last 2 books, Dayton was like this sexual, like, super hormones, like, let me have sex with everybody. And now all of a sudden in this book, he's like, don't touch me, I'm trying to find my mate or whatever. So it's definitely a 180 from his personality through the last 2 books, which I'm not really liking, because to have such an abrupt change in personality, and like, it wasn't even abrupt in this specific book. Like, in the first like 4% of the book, like, him, Dayton, and Rosalina had sex on the bridge leading up to the castle in front of everybody. And then all of a sudden, 2 chapters later, he was like, don't fucking touch me. And I am very confused. And maybe that's why I'm not enjoying it, because it was really confusing on how he just switched. We haven't seen a lot of Kel, which is not surprising. We know how Kel is. And then Ezrian, he banished his brother. And then all of a sudden he's like, well, I think my brother's doing well. And like, Dayton and Rosalina and Farron are like, we have evidence that steel from Spring is being used by goblins who are kind of like from the below army kind of thing. So what I'm not understanding is how you have people who are your best friends, like the people who are there for you, you've lived with, Dayton and Farron, and then Rosalina, who you're super attracted to. All three of them are saying goblins are wielding steel from Spring. You guys do not sell the steel of Spring to goblins or like things from the underground. So I'm not understanding how he decides to lift his brother's banishment. You have proof that is going to the place you banished your brother to. It's being shipped there. The people who make the steel said, yeah, it's a little fucking weird. And you were just like, oh, I don't know, let me absolve his banishment and bring him back to the castle anyway. I just have a feeling this is going to go bad for Ezrian. And I love Ezrian. Like, he's probably one of my favorite characters because he is very well-rounded and I really enjoy him. So, I don't know. We'll see if he continues to piss me off. But I am about 40% into that book now. I am enjoying it. I think I'm going to buy them paperback, which I wasn't expecting to, but I think I'm going to. But yeah. Oh, hey, you moved. But yeah, I don't know. But I'm going to drive home. I'm going to start a new audiobook. I'm not 100% sure what audiobook I'm going to start, but I'm going to look. I just resubscribed to Everand. My subscription link is down below. If you want to subscribe under my thing, that'd be cool. But I don't know. I don't know what I want to read now. But yes, I'm going to drive home. I'm so tired for some reason. I don't know what my problem is. I have to be up really early tomorrow. So by the time I get home, it's going to be 9:30. I have to be up by 8. So hopefully I can get to bed around 1 and be okay. But I'm such like a night person because of my work schedule. It's hard for me to go to bed earlier. So I'm going to start listening to a new audiobook and I will probably close this out when I get home. So I will talk to you guys when I get home. Goodbye. I just talked for 5 whole minutes realizing that I didn't press play. So it's fine. Let's do a little bit of a reading wrap up before we start next week's reading vlog. So I finished The Never King this week. 50-50 about it. We're not 100% sure how we feel. We started Bonded by Thorns. We're 50-50 about it too. I really like it. I love the book. The first 2 books. This book's giving me not sure about it yet vibes. We started in the car Bridge of Souls by Victoria Schwab, which is the 3rd book in the City of Bones series. It is a middle grade. I am really liking it. My cat definitely ruined this book, which is really sad because it is a limited edition. But yes, we're enjoying this so far. I really love the first 2, so I'm hoping I love this one just as much. We're about halfway through already, so hopefully I'm enjoying it. So yes, that's all I got. We are gonna wrap this bad boy up, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.